So in this video, I want to go ahead and start adjusting the rate at which the firearm will go up and go back down. So I want these to be at different speeds, basically. So to do that, if we look here, we have our weapon mesh interp speed. Let's duplicate this and change the first one to weapon mesh to finish location interp speed, and have the next one be weapon mesh to, let's do to ended interp speed. So we can go ahead and quickly fix this up right here. And we are good to go there. So now what we need to do is we have this Boolean here, and that basically gets us our target location. We also need to do the same thing to get the actual interpolation speed. So what I'm going to do is make this no longer a constant, but I want to go ahead and basically just wrap this in an if-else. So if the weapon mesh interp to finish complete, then we do something. Otherwise, we do something else. So in the case of if this being true, we want to set the weapon mesh target location to equal a f vector 0 vector. In the case of being false, we want to set the weapon mesh target location to equal the weapon mesh interp finish location. So if, basically, let me just clear that out. If our firearm has not finished interpolating to the finished location, such as this has been bought, this weapon is false, 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 false. Once it hits the top, it is now true. So the entire time it's false, we are interpolating to that location. Once it hits true at the top, we interp back down to the 0 location. So now we just need the speed. So float, let's do weapon mesh interp speed. And same thing. Let's set this one to the weapon mesh. We have the finish or two-ended interp speed. And we also have the weapon mesh to finish interp speed. So now we can use that in place of our weapon mesh to finish location interp speed. Like so. And that's going to allow us to have different speeds for going up versus down. And in this case, for down, I'm just going to have it. So 20 instead of 40 for the default. And obviously, we're going to be tweaking that as we go. So this goes ahead and basically sets the interpolation as, hey, we have finished. We basically hit the top. So we're going to want to do some additional stuff in there. But for now, let's go ahead, compile and launch, and just make sure everything's fine. Okay, once we are back in the editor, we should see the firearm interp up and down at different speeds. So there it is going up, and there it is going down at half the speed. So that is correct. And then once it hits back down there, we want to, on client and server, kind of trigger the ending. So I don't want to trigger or wait for replication or anything like that necessarily. Granted, we could. It doesn't truly matter, in my opinion, in this case, with the way we have it set up. But basically, this is kind of like a trigger point as to if the firearm has reached the top. We need a way to trigger when the firearm has reached the bottom. So in this case, we're going to do a if the current weapon mesh location dot equals the f vector 0 vector. That's going to be kind of our first notice. However, we also need to know if the weapon mesh interp to finish complete is true. So if the firearm has, once it has reached the top, like this Boolean here is going to go from false to true. So that satisfies this condition, but this condition here is still false. Once it has gone back down to say here, then this condition is now true. So both of these are now satisfied, in which case we can go ahead and close the lid. So what we want to do is basically use this as kind of more or less a trigger point. So interaction complete, basically. So in our case, we want to go ahead and, let's see, we're clearing the timer there. We're doing everything else. Let's go ahead and set up some kind of bool of interaction complete. So bool be interaction finished. and we'll just do false by default. So B interaction finished equals true. So in the case of it not being finished, we want to run kind of everything else regarding the weapon mesh. So if the interaction is not finished, we do all the weapon moving up and down logic. Once it is finished, we don't do it at all. We just only do the lid. Okay, so what we can do here is basically more or less a check. And we're using the purchase in progress, which we don't really want to use. Instead, we want to use the interaction finished. So if the interaction is not finished, we use the lid open rotation as the target. If the interaction is finished, we use the lid closed rotation as the target. Then what we can do is once this has been completed, we can stop ticking entirely. So if the lid relative rotation dot equals the, let's do a fquat identity. And we also need to do our check. So if the, what do you call it? B interaction is not finished, then we want to basically stop ticking and all that other stuff. So if the interaction is not finished, meaning we bought it, the lid has opened, the firearm has moved up, and has started interpolating back down. Once the firearm has interpolated back down, then we know that this interaction has been finished. So this is now going to be, we know that this is now going to be true, which we want. And then this condition here is going to be false because the lid itself is open. So once the lid has been closed, so it goes back down and it is closed, then this condition is true. So both of these are satisfied, in which case we can set actor tick enabled to false because the interaction as a whole has been finished. So what we want to do here is, well, actually it's just that. So this is going to be kind of our test logic. So let's go ahead, recompile and relaunch and just make sure everything works as is. And there is a problem that we still need to fix up regarding replication and all that stuff, but we'll end up getting to it here in a moment. Okay, so once we are back in the editor, let's go ahead and press play. So we buy the box, firearm cycles through, hits the top with the selected, starts going back down, and once it has hit the bottom, the lid should close just like so. And that's perfect. The only drawback is we can no longer interact with the box because we never reset that boolean. So what I want to do kind of more or less instead is have it set up to where we can kind of have some various events because our tick is getting somewhat large, but we'll do the cleanup later. For now, what we want to do is in the case of, the interaction being finished, we want to set this be purchased in progress to false because it is no longer, well, in progress. So what we can do is if we are on the server, so if has authority, we set be purchased in progress to false and mark it as dirty so it replicates. And that'll partially fix it. There's still another bug, which I will show you here in a bit. But we hit play. Oops. So on the server, this should be just fine. So, it opens, firearm starts going back down, blah, blah, blah. Then the lid is going to close. Oh, now it shows back up. Oh, that's right, because it's after the lid closes. So you can see that works server side. Now, the problem being, if I play client side and do basically the same thing, let me actually speed up the rate at which these are interpolating. So I'll just do 40 and 40, actually 60 and 40. Pay attention to the firearm specifically. So the firearm goes up, goes back down, and then once the lid closes, oh, well, I don't have it actually being printed to show. Let me print out the tick really quick. Basically, the tick is being more or less re-enabled. So because we're firing off that on rep again. So if I play as a client, we have no tick. When we buy it, the tick starts. So let's let it do its thing. Let the thing close. So we stop ticking technically because we can interact again. But you can see, wait, what in the world? Let's go to the on rep. Huh. Yeah, maybe I guess not. So I guess I was partially incorrect on that one. But anyways, just to prevent the potential issue, I'm really surprised it didn't actually, I guess, stop. Maybe replication happened at a different time, which could explain the issue, but there is the possibility of it still happening. But basically, we want to, instead of setting actor tick enable every time to true when this purchase is in progress, we want to set it to only be true if the purchase in progress variable is true. So set actor tick enabled to be purchase in progress. So if this is true, we are ticking. If it is false, then we simply stop. Or we can do a different kind of check and basically wrap it in a two conditions, which I would prefer. So if the interaction is finished, where are we at? Like so. And the purchase in progress is true, so the interaction's finished and the purchase is in progress, then we know we are, for the most part, pretty much good to go to, well, start ticking. However, that's going to be a problem because this is, well, wrong. So let me actually think about this really quick for a bit. Okay, so I did just a quick little test to see what kind of result from this, and we are actually fine. So, yeah, there's not really much to worry about. So, yeah, there's really not much else to do in that regard. So we purchase the firearm. We go through, we already know we're interacting. Everything gets pretty much set up to where we are good to go. We select a random firearm from the list that we set to use, and we start ticking. Let's remove the comment or the log there. And once we start ticking, we want to go ahead and get the rotation at which the lid is supposed to essentially be at. So in this case, we can optimize it by just making it to where this logic doesn't run when it's not actually having to be moved. But now that I think about it, that is such minimal savings in this context. I'm not even concerned because it's not running all the time either. And it's just effort that's not really warranted, in my opinion. So that is all good to go there. And once the interaction has finished, so the firearm has reached back down, this whole section will become true, in which case we are just going to stop tick and replicate this Boolean back. So the very last thing that I do want to do, just in case, is if the purchase in progress is false, what I want to do is simply force, just in case, the mystery box lid mesh component to be at 0. So set relative rotation at f rotator 0 rotator. So that way, if there's a little bit of some weird, I guess, latency issue, we're not going to have the box basically stop ticking and be partially open. Instead, it would just kind of snap shut, if that makes sense. But yeah, that is pretty much it, at least for the time being, with the mystery box in terms of the firearm logic going up and down. I want to go ahead and reset. Oops, wrong button. The interpolation speeds back to the defaults. And we are ready to continue. So pretty much the remaining logic is going to be when we buy the mystery box, the firearm is going to go up. And during this entire time, I want to be able to purchase the gun. Well, not purchase the gun, but grab it. And only have the person who bought the box be able to, well, grab it. So that's going to be the logic there. And then, once it goes back down, it is not obtainable. So essentially, we're going to have to do some sort of more or less reset, so to speak. But yeah, I'd say we are in a pretty good spot overall. So with that out of the way, I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.